So to go back to the question that you asked earlier about this past week and revelations and moments and the Rona having a moment. Let's start here. Let's start with that dang debate. Woo! Bop, 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 bop. You know, just somebody. There were so many memes and tweets. I think the best one I saw was somebody saying, "Yo, Chris Matthews could not break up my kids' fight." You know,
Chris Wallace.
Whatever.
and I'm mad his name is Chris Wallace because
exactly.
R.I.P. to Biggie Smalls, the real Chris Wallace.
I think that's what it was. I didn't want to say it. That's why I went Chris Matthews.
This is another white man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I wish Biggie was alive to be like, come on, then. You know?
He was terrible. Terrible. He was terrible. Horrible. So here's one of the best memes, or I heard on the radio. They said that was the white version of Versus.
I didn't hear that. That's good.
I was like, what? Like, I had a cackle. I was driving home. I'm like, yo. I had a cackle, yo. A cackle.
That was totally Versus. That was totally Versus. That was totally Versus. That is hilarious. Will you shut up? You said that. This guy's a clown. Like, these are the people running for the president of America. The what used to be, I don't know if it's fun anymore, the used to be the most powerful position in the world. But Homeboy has turned it around, and I don't know if that's the most powerful position in the world, you know. So one thing I went to that was really troublesome, and you and I do this work of dissecting, understanding what systemic racism is. As I watched, I was like, neither of these cats get and understand what systemic racism is. They have no strong understanding of what this concept is and means, and the importance of understanding it truthfully. Neither of them had it, which was, I thought, revealing and problematic and a little frightening. Joe was touching on it and kind of getting it, but I was like, no, you don't really understand it and get it. You're on a superficial level. And what's annoying is like the deeper level is right there for you, you know? And the choice not to understand it is a reflection of maintaining and control and keep maintaining control and power from my perspective. I understand it. Whenever there's somebody not really truly getting it, I'm like, you're not letting go. Because understanding it means to let go and to move in another direction. And you are not letting go of the control you have as a white person in this world.
Yes.
Because accepting it, I had a great email from someone. I gave a talk on anti-racist versus sorry, let me get these right. Not being racist versus anti-racist. I gave a talk on that. And this woman wrote me in this long email, was like, yo, I gotta tell you how much you've affected my life, because I went into it thinking like, oh, come on. My parents were activists and did this stuff, even though we were wealthy white people, we live in this community and blah, blah, blah. But listening to your work, I was like, none of that means anything, because there's a whole system outside of us. Yes, we're volunteering and doing this stuff and participating, but by our existence where we lived, we are part of the system, we're part of the problem. And not understanding that has kept us in this space. No matter how much work my parents did, I have to accept that it means something different to be anti-racist. And I was like, wow, that's it's a journey. It's a journey. So that's one thing. And then I was a little floored, not crushed, but like the wind ran out of my sails for a little while, where I was just like, dang, you know, when the current president was asked to speak against white supremacist institutions and groups and people, and he could not do it, and like faked the funk. Like, who are you talking about? I don't know. And then called him out. Like, I don't know who blah 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 is. And it's like, mofo, you just said who they are. Chris Matthews didn't say it, whatever. I can't say Christopher Wallace.
Yes, you don't have to, brother.
Hard.
Just say the technical moderator.
Big Chris, little Chris.
Little Chris.
Little Chris. Little Chris, when he was talking, you know.
Please, sir.
Right. I just can't believe this guy. I can't believe this. You believe it and do something about it. Come on now. I was thinking about Gwen Eiffel. Oh, Gwen Eiffel. I was thinking how she would just walk. And it's actually, Kristen Welker, who I went to school with, it was up for session number 3. That which lead us to the next moment. We'll see if we get there. But that moment when he said, he told those gentlemen to stand by, and they had a meme within moments of that.
Yep.
Like I was like, this is dangerous. This is really dangerous. It's scary, but I'm not gonna be afraid. But this is dangerous. You just gave people a permission they needed to attack, kill, mob, murder. So that was another moment of like, wow, that just happened. So all those things really hit me hard, and I was on the couch by 11 o'clock, just like born. I was like, I need to watch more stuff or do something else, because how am I going to sleep tonight knowing that this is a world that's being promoted and pushed forward? So it was real intense. It was very intense. That was a big part of it. So then, to take us into my grandmother's words, that God don't like ugly. And she says that when Sister so and so come in like with a fancy party dress to church, and she slip on the ice outside, and the saints step over her, go, God don't like ugly, or brother so and so is up front lying about something and his teeth come out. Those moments. You've been in church. You've been in the church.
Lying through your teeth.
Exactly. They come out. For all those little moments, God don't like ugly. And, a certain individual who has been saying that masks are not required and that we're going to have a cure by the election, and, has gone back and forth about it. And honestly, someone quoted to me today, reminded me of something an English teacher used to quote, and I need to find out who said this, that, a man will grow into the mask that he puts on. Right? Is that powerful? I need to find out. That was said to me like moments before we got on our session. So I didn't get to go, who said that? But a teacher, one of our teachers will say it to us in this class, pulling me from a text, I guess. But think about that. And this man, his mask is this conservative Republican, anti-abortion, anti-everything conservative, support the people just to maintain the power. I don't think he really cares about any of this stuff. And it's often think about that. Some people, we're so lucky to have such a deep culture and experiences. And I watch people who do things in an effort to have meaning, and I feel for them. I'm like, that's because there's not much behind you. There's not much there. And I feel for people because I see them go down these paths. And I think this is a prime example of that, of a mediocre person that just has every opportunity they have in front of them, but there's no power or force behind them. And they've convinced people that there is. And other people who probably share in that same space of like seeing they don't have much power and force. I mean, I'm talking about a natural power and energy. We as Black people, we got something. There is. Have there been moments you're like, how did I do that? And it's just like natural. And I think, I mean, this is my armchair, and this is another episode, but I really do think about folks enslaving and trying to control people, that it's about seeing that spark, seeing that magic, seeing that ability, and wanting to squash it, because it may defeat them. So yeah, so I think this week has been really intense. And God don't like ugly. No. And you talk about how horrible and how thing was not real, and booyah, you got it.
It's called experiential learning, I guess.
It's total experiential learning. Thank you. I've always struggled with that concept, and I think now I fully understand what experiential learning is.
Let's test this out. We're not gonna. My goodness. Talk about a master class in whiteness. That's what that debate was. So if you want to study what white privilege looked like, that's what it was. You want to study what white fragility looks like, that's what that was. You want to study what white mediocrity looked like, that's what that was. It was just a masterclass. I'm like, these folks are screaming at each other. There's no decorum. Probably couldn't even spell it if you asked some of them to try, right? And then you have all these situations that we know if anybody who even looked close to how we look were up there, it would be a problem. It would be a problem. This person's not presidential. This person's a thug. This person's ill-informed. This person, all these things.
An animal.
All these things. But no. And then you see that this is what we have to offer America. Some people said, oh, I think it was D.L. Hughley. He was like, oh, you talk about the sequel to Grumpier Old Men. That was Grumpier Old Men up there. I'm like, that's exactly what it was. We have folks who are like, listen, I've seen more decorum in the elementary school debate. There's folks who are like, I've heard more eloquence from a bunch of kindergartners. There's just, that was just something that has to, I think this is a question I posed in my class. I said, was that debate, everything about it, a reflection or an accurate reflection of America? Or was it not an accurate reflection of America? I said, was that an accurate representation of America? Or is it not an accurate representation of America? That's my question, because I often ask people, if America was a person, how would it identify? I need to know. But when we talk about hegemonic culture, when we talk about dominant culture, white, male, able-bodied, cisgender, heterosexual, wealthy, landowners. And we see all this stuff play out and talk about privilege.
Oh my
Folks
God.
who talk about privilege doesn't exist. White privilege is something that's made up. None of us could go on there and say anything like that. None of us can go on there and even start to talk in a certain tone. Let me use my hands too much. Right. They're going to be in cuffs.
Right.
So it's like, we talk about these things. And the folks who don't know, they're like, what's the problem? I mean, you're supposed to, that's a debate. That's what a debate is. Privilege.
Yeah. Majorly so. Yeah. You bring about some really fantastic points. It is a case study in all of it. And I don't think people can really see that. And that's the power of the structures in place to keep us where we are. It was upsetting. I had a moment where I was like, I would laugh and then I'd be like, oh, I'm really upset. You know, like I remember when little Chris was like, this is a rhetorical question. And I was like, he'll know what rhetorical is. And I laughed, but I was like, wait, he may really, really not know what rhetorical is. Like, he really may not know what that means.
You're right.
And was like, oh, wow.
You're right.
These people are given power and opportunity left and right. And here we are, flipping brilliant with the energy and the power oozing out of our cells. And we have to fight, not for a seat at the table, but to know where the table's been placed. You have to fight for it.
And to see these folks, these bumbling fools, in many respects, over here talking about something such as race, or for little Chris to be like, this next question is about race, but you can talk about something else if you want.
Right.
What? That's what we're doing today? That's what we're doing today?
That's exactly what we were doing. That's what we did.
Right? And then my man over here, Agent Orange 45 out here, right? He out here trying to turn things into diss tracks, coming at people's mamas, cousins, sons. Yo.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And it's, it's also, we're living in a moment where we've been struggling with this experience of the corona disease. And it's been real for a lot of us. It just became very real for a new sect of people. And I wonder how they're sitting with that, what that means for them. I heard people like, I don't think he really has it. There's conspiracy theories,
Mhm.
or how long did he have it, and how responsible was his committee and crew talking about it. Yo, why didn't Homegirl stay home if she had it? Why was she on Air Force One? Why was she traveling? Why was she up in the business? Why wasn't she sitting at home quarantining?
Mhm.
It's 2020. You can do everything on the computer. And then so many folks in this cabinet have it. Like it's embarrassing.
Talk about
It's
it.
embarrassing. Like for the world to look. And it's also on a very serious note, 200,000 people,
Yes.
which we've counted,
Yes.
are no longer on this earthly plane because of it, And I know 10 of them.
Mm.
Like that's real.
Mm.
That's really, really, really real. And who knows what else is coming next? And it's like coming back, and people are still so misinformed. Like I'm like, yo, put your mask on.
Mm.
Like we laughed about that barber, but I was serious. I was like, I ain't going nobody to a barber that was like doing people. My barber was like, even I was at first I was like, yeah, you should be doing house calls. Should I call him for one? And he was like, he would put up a proposal every day. Yo, no house calls. There's too much at stake, health-wise, and my business. No house. When I open, but I'm not doing house calls. And he has a number of barbers that are not in the shop anymore. People I liked, because they made so much money doing house calls. They're doing their own thing. And he was like, God bless him. He paused, and this was New York City, so it was a whole other case. So yeah, so I'm it's confusing.
Yeah, yeah, and talk about like trying to control the narrative. I was going through my Facebook feed, and one of my Facebook friends was like, here's an administration that has really made their brand of fear mongering, demeaning, being violent towards others, provoking violence against others, and now you're asking for sympathy, empathy, and compassion. Really?
Yeah,
So how does that work? How does that work? So it's a circus. It is a circus, and it's not universal either.
It's not universal.
Nah, it's not.
It's no, it's not universal at all. It's not universal at all. It's not even when they have budget cuts and they stop having the animals, had the people come out, rawr! It's not even that. You know what I'm talking about? You've been there when they had that. We had the recession. People call me outfits. It ain't universal. It's P.T. Barnum at his finest. A big old tent that looks amazing, and you're paying $9 for popcorn. That is that popcorn is the most substance you'll actually get, because everything else is fake and made up. But you're like, wow, look at this, and people are like, yo, I'm serious. The bearded woman, she grew a beard. That's how it worked. One day, it just so happened, bearded woman. It's like, no, it's not some freak of nature. So anyhow, yeah, I am. It's a whole lot. I mean, it's funny because we laugh at it, but it's also very serious. It's very, very, very serious and upsetting and frightening. It makes you think I have to work twice as hard. Like I was watching that, restructuring my keynotes. So, okay, I need to pull this, I need to pull that, I need to do this, do that, add this part in, gotta pull this, gotta go here, gotta say, like, I really be like, the game is on. I gotta start with, like, we live under a president that told white supremacists to stand by and be ready to take action. Let's start right there. Go forward and connect that back to the fact that we are on land that was taken from people and then built by stolen hands. Like you can't deny all that. And you don't think it's true, it's not real, making too much of it. Listen to what the president just said on national TV in front of everybody. Every network was blocked out for it. Every cable news network was blasting it. And every Twitter person was following and tweeting along. And he just said, what's the first part? Stand by and what? He said something else in stand by.
Stand back and stand by.
Stand back and stand by. Come on. Now, think of you on the block and Erica and Suzette are going at it. And Johnny May is in the background. And Johnny May is with Erica. And Suzette stepping to Erica. And Johnny May is like, Erica, you good? She's like, step back and stand by.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be on, but I'm gonna start this. Like, everybody's like, oh snap. It's about to be on. Like that is straight up. Like, so I'm gonna go in here first and set this up, and then we're gonna come in and we're gonna be unfair and take advantage and knock it out. Like, that's what that is.
So can I ask you a question, brother? I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna tie it back to all this.
Okay.
The debate was Tuesday night. What happens Wednesday morning? What should schools, what should institutions, what should places of business do Wednesday morning? Assuming that they know what happened Tuesday evening, assuming that they watched it, assuming that they heard him not disavow in any way, shape, or form white supremacy. What happens Wednesday morning? What should happen Wednesday morning? And if not Wednesday morning, what should happen moving forward? Should it be a statement? Should it be a conversation? What should happen, brother?
Well, it's interesting because I think a number of institutions were still trying to figure out what to do about Breonna Taylor.
You can say that again.
We're going to start there. Who were like, let's hear from people how they're feeling. As opposed to like, no, we need to all get out, lock our arms, and say no more knock warrants. Let's start there and take these policies away. So what should have happened was on Wednesday morning was like, hey, how y'all doing? Let me check in. You just heard the president tell white supremacists to stand by. How are you feeling? How can we take care of you? How can you know we got your back? How can you know that if and when that moment happens, we're not going to close our door out of fear and step away because we're safe as white people, or we're going to open our doors and stand there and fight with you? That's what should have happened on Wednesday. Did I see that in the multiple institutions that I work in? Some yes, some not. Mostly not. Mostly not that direct, clear action. Lots of like, I'm so confused and weirded out by this. I'm so upset. Racism is really real. It's the kind of thing where what I think about that, I notice how I got a little louder there because that makes me angry. I think that people will look down and see my body laying on the ground and my life taken from it and go, oh, racism is real, And it's like my soul is over you watching, be like, it's too late. You had the opportunity to stop this. You had the opportunity to prevent this, and you did nothing. And a day, a seminar, a session is not enough. You need to change complete overall. So I think institutions next day should be like, okay, we're flipping the script because we want you to live. And by not doing anything is a silent message that we don't care about your life. And you've said that to us for the past 75 years since y'all been here. And we need to maybe start to believe it. Full stop. Like what you said is true, full stop. Let's build and work together and prepare ourselves to defend and protect you against potential forces that are coming, as opposed to being shocked when the tiki torches and the folks that have been told to stand by. What's the first? I don't even remember the first one again.
Stand back and stand by.
Stand back. Stand back and stand by. I can't get stand by. And I'm mad because I love saying, okay, stand by, get back to you.
Yeah.
I can't say it. I can't say stand by. So step back and stand by. My mind went to like, who is going to be on my side when they come running down the street looking for me? Who's really going to be like, nah, none of these people are going to suffer under what you're pushing for? Who's really going to do that? I really found myself thinking that, like, who's going to step up? Yeah,
I appreciate you sharing all that. Honestly, I mean, you speak my mind, for sure. And I've been trying to tell folks, I'm like, listen, this little moment we had over the spring into the summer, and even a little bit later in the summer, the little moment where we're all together and it seems like we're locking arms, we're finally get it. I kept telling people, keep that same energy. When all this other stuff seems like it's changing, when the leaves start to drop from the trees, keep that same energy. When snow starts to fall on the ground, when you start to have April showers that bring May flowers, keep that same energy. And I already see folks
Yes.
real lethargic,
Yep.
real lethargic. It's like, did you eat breakfast today? Because it seems like you don't really have much energy. You need some calories? You
Yep.
good? Like, keep that same energy. So what you're saying, brother, it's like, my goodness, like what else do you need? What else the writing has been on the wall. The bodies have been on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
What do you need?
Literally on the ground. With a knee in your neck or a bullet in your back. Yeah. It's a pretty heavy conversation, my brother.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I always feel lifted. Like you said, the brown keeps me heavy. Brown. But I feel lifted with what you said, brother. Listen, God don't like ugly.
No, he don't. And I may have first time hit the shoulders.
Listen, hit him with the shoulder. Hey, I'm past the shoulders. I might be below the waist, brother. We get
ankle deep. You getting down ankle deep. Getting ankle deep.
Ankle deep. Yep.
I bet it. It's yeah. I had friends in this work who were like, yeah, they've been noticing that the fall off is happening.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, not as many people are like showing up and interested. They're going back to their lives, and that's privilege. For us. It's like it's great that y'all are here. This doesn't end when you get tired or it's too much. No, this is all day, all night. All day, all night.
Absolutely. And like I share with many people, I'm like, some of us don't have the privilege not to do this. Literally, lives depend on it. So again, it's not an opportunity for you to be like, oh, well, I'm gonna run away from it. You have to run towards this and be a part of it. Be a part of it, because some folks do not have the privilege to opt out of this stuff.
No, not at all. 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 So yeah, I am. It's interesting. I took stock, and I find comfort in the work that I get to do. And the spaces we both have been brought into, and the challenges we've been faced with. It's a real blessing that this is what we get to do. And I couldn't, if I worked at a bank right now or something else that wasn't trying to change this around, I don't know what I would do. I'll lose my mind. But that's how I'm built. And it's not as slighting against anyone else in this position, but I'm just very aware of what my skill set, need, desires, what they are. Like, wow, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I respect that big time and appreciate it. So, wow.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
do I get to raise a toast?
Oh, please.
I raise a toast to hope.
Ooh, yes, yes.
I still have it. And that's why I show up. I still have the hope. And a big toast to hope. And anyone out there watching that has it too, we got you. We're with you. We will march and walk and talk and speak and everything with you. We have the hope because we believe that we know we are. And I heard this great piece. It's not about fortitude. I'm sorry, it's not about resilience. It's about fortitude. Resilience is important and great, but let's not talk about fortitude. I heard that. I was like, I get that distinction right away.
I like that.
Let's talk about fortitude. So hope and fortitude.
I love that.
Right? Isn't that good? Oof.
Oh yeah.
The whole grain smash.
Hey now.
I'm about to go to. This is you know how you get inspired to attend a university. About to apply to a university. I'm like, yo, can you do a recommendation or reference letter for me, Mikael, for my YouTube university application?
Oh yes. Listen, I'll put in a good word. Definitely, if you need a letter, I got you. I'll make.
I might need to be in. I might need to be in because this is she's shot me a little different. She's a little different.
We have to decide and figure out what your flavor profile is. What does your palate appreciate? What appeases you? That's what we need to take a look at.
Yes, I think I can say this.
Oh goodness, a great conversation.
Oh, fantastic! Thank you so much. I think I needed that. I think I needed this. I appreciate you.
Definitely. Likewise, appreciate you, good brother. I mean, it's always heartwarming, and soul enriching and life affirming, brother.
Yeah, straight up.
For real.
Definitely agree. Definitely agree.
Barbershop, man. Brown juice barbershop.
Brown juice barbershop, the place to be.
Place to be, and sometimes you might catch us hitting them with the shoulders.
Exactly. Exactly. Hit it with the shoulders.
So until next time, stay
man.
safe, stay healthy. Peace.
Brown juice barbershop.
We out.
Bye.